His environment was horrible because he was working for me at the time, and we're at work because he was pretty much where I'm at now back then with the fasting. Like, he was having these heavy detox symptoms, and I was pissed because I'm like, dude, we gotta fucking work, you know what I mean? And so I was not conducive to that environment whatsoever. I had no patience for it because I was still on my programming of, slave programming of, bitch, you work, don't stop working. You can't look sick, you can't go slow. So yeah, it's all about breaking programmings, but it's also about your environment, because if I had not been such a negative factor in his environment, who knows, he might have been able to blossom and do it on his own, because I was the closest thing to him at that moment.
And check where we're at now. This transition is feeling so much easier now that we're both doing it.
Yeah, because he's right behind me. I haven't even told you guys, he's fucking right behind me with this fasting now. So now he has that support system, right? And thankfully I had the support from him in the past month or so when I started this, getting heavy detox and withdrawing from food and all these toxins and poisons. So I've had support from him. But so I'm just trying to hammer home how important your environment is, guys. Yeah. It's all about your environment. I don't see how somebody can fast around a bunch of people that are...
It is very hard. I did it for a couple years, and man, it was a very difficult thing.
And especially when you get down to where you're fasting, getting rid of the mucoid plaque, and you're actually getting rid of the shit that's been there for decades, because it's so toxic, guys. You can't even understand how toxic it makes you. That any kind of outside stress or anxiety just boom exacerbates it. And that's what happens to me right now. That's why I drink my tea, because anytime stress and anxiety hits me, it sends my body into overdrive with all the toxins in there, and then my organs are like praying for help, So these things are important. Stress, anxiety, I mean, you got to think about these. Your outside factor, how other people think about you. You guys have been stuck in groupthink. You guys still think you need to eat 3 times a day. You're crazy. I haven't eaten in 3 days and my mind works perfectly. I have energy. I feel fine.
And not only have you not eaten in 3 days, but you've been rolling 48s for the past...
Oh yeah, I've only eaten a few times in the past, 3 weeks?
And when you do eat, it's in 20 to 45 minutes, right?
Yeah, I eat within a 20 to 45 minute period, and it's like literally, I show you guys how much I eat.
And you're not drinking anything.
And I'm not drinking anything except for, I had piss today and a glass of tea today.
Yeah, but no water.
No water. And I was a severe water addict, a cold water addict. I loved cold water. I thought I needed it to survive.
So we'll just keep these rolling, because we can split.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that.
Edit.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I highly recommend reading an article that was free back when I read it, but now it costs money. But anyways, it's called The Extraordinary Science of Junk Food. At the time of my senior year in high school, I did a paper report on this article. I had no clue what it was about, but I picked it. Note at this time I was still majorly blinded by mass manipulation at this time. But this article talks about how these experts were trying to sell more food by the colors, textures, smells, sounds, and commercialism. How they did this was, first they thought their go-to target would be adults, because they're the ones who have money. Not much later did they figure out that kids were the best target. They hooked not only adults, but kids as well, to all these sensory cords, literally on their brain, heads, sensory cords all over. The pictures were just disgusting. So they'd hook these kids and adults, and to test not only these things one at a time, not only just a color, not only just a texture, but a combination of these things, of them as well, and would report any reaction given by the human of their tests. Fucking sickening.
Yeah, guinea pigs. Guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Fucking
the crunch. They got everything down, from the crunch going with the color, with the taste, with the oh man, it's nuts.
Yeah, they know you better than you've ever known yourself.
Yeah,
you guys think you have free will and think you know yourself. No, you guys don't know dick. What you guys know is what you've been told. What you guys know are the programs you've been put on since birth. That's all you guys know, because you can't even think outside the box that you don't have to eat. You guys are still stuck in consumption cycle. And we are telling you right now, the cells do not need this shit. And you guys, I bet y'all still sitting there going, oh, they're crazy. Oh, they're crazy. Oh, let me pull up. And looking for mainstream things to prove us wrong. And mainstream things from all your doctors and your experts. The same experts that fucking locked you down for 2 years and tried to force poison into your veins and muzzled you. Those are your experts. You guys love that abuse because you guys were born into abusive systems. You know nothing but slavery. You don't know how to think for yourself. You only know what they've told you. That's it.
So I ask, what use has such a system for food and drink? What use has our solar system for food and drink? Man's body resembles the planetary bodies. Electrons move in their orbits in the atom in the cells of the human body, just as planets move in their orbits in the solar system of the universe. The power of movement in all these instances comes not from food. There is one universal law that governs all bodies. The electrons and the atoms in the cells of man's body are the same celestial bodies as the planets of the sky. Even their velocity is the same. This now established fact shows how completely man's body resembles the planetary bodies. The ancient masters were right when they said, as above, so below, as within, so without. Man is microcosm and the universe is macrocosm. So if the planetary bodies depend not on food for their origin and maintenance, neither should the human body.
Yeah.
One universal law governs all bodies. Remember, this acquired habit, like smoking, gives stimulation, not nourishment.
It's an acquired habit. Eating is an acquired habit, just like smoking.
Yep.
It's an acquired habit. Your body does not want it. It is a toxin. The only reason you do it is through practice, is through continual practice, through as a child, your parents continually shoving it. At first you don't want it, but then you figure out through your brain, through your empathy, you're like, oh shit, I have to please this fucker, this big giant. And if I don't, they're going to continue to fucking, hurt me. So, so we actually are parents acting as agents of the state, acting as from slave programming, are forcing poisons into their own kids' veins, making it a habit, and then causing all this disease and death. But they love you. Check this one out. They love you. Fuckers.
Yeah, and, oh, but why is it when my stomach growls and I feel hungry and I get all these hunger pains? Look, appetite comes with eating. You don't have appetite. It comes with that acquired.
I have not experienced hunger in at least 6 weeks. No hunger. I have no hunger. The thing I do still experience is thirst because I'm breaking my thirst addiction. But otherwise, I can sit with myself and feel myself regenerating. I can feel when I get thirsty, if I shut my mouth for a few minutes, all of a sudden the thirst is gone. I'm rehydrated. Guys, this thing is redoing everything itself. It's self-sustaining. We are literally killing ourselves with our addictions because putting food in your mouth, that's all it is an addiction.
Yep. So note this as well. What man has done can be undone. And also in this lifetime, healing is so fucking simple. It is frustrating to now know. And look, I haven't even gotten back into my fasting. I've just lowered my density of food intake, so I don't eat cooked food, and I stopped eating meat. My dad's way ahead of me as of now, but with the feeling of hunger, it all comes from anxiety, and when I do eat, it's like, fuck, I don't even need to eat. But I'm taking it easy on myself, I'm just making sure when I do eat, it's very light, it's all fruit, avocados, cucumbers, if that, but keeping it very light, and I man, I've been doing this for 2 weeks now. My dad's been on it for 6 weeks, but I've been on it for 2 weeks, and yeah, I'm feeling the transition. I'm feeling my body getting ready for the next phase. And like I said, having this support system, having someone on the same path makes it a million times easier.
Yeah, it creates that safe space.
Yeah.
That way you're not in constant with your helmet on and your gun going like this all the time. So instead, you can take that shit off, you can prop your feet up, and you can heal. And you can figure things out for yourself, get rid of the fucking program, get rid of the groupthink, get rid of what anybody else thinks about you, and you're able to process these things and write something so intelligent like that. So simple and intelligent, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and look, like you said, don't go around telling everybody what you're doing, because you're gonna be in constant survival defend mode.
Yep.
Because everyone wants to come at you. Everyone's gonna come at you.
Yes,
So,
and that anxiety wrecks your body. You guys think you know what anxiety is now? Try going on a fast and having everybody tell you should be eating with anxiety and see what happens. You're gonna fuck yourself up. You can give yourself a heart attack. I mean, all kinds of things, guys.
But look, seeing where we're at, you know, if you got any questions, want any support, I'm here for you. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but I have experience.
Yep, lots of experience between the two of us, guys. I mean, we've been doing. We started fasting 8 years ago, something like that. It was right after my brain.
7 years.
Yeah,
6, 7 years.
Yeah, about 7 years
and
ago.
And I fell off of it the last year and a half, 2 years. Just yeah, that can be a whole nother video of our journeys of being on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. But like you said, it's that environment. And plus me, when I came across the fasting, I told everybody. I mean, and that was probably a huge mistake on my part.
Yeah. And then also when we first started fasting, we were eating whatever.
Yeah.
Up until 2 years ago when he really got into it and was doing it right with the whole foods and the fresh fruits and stuff. But until then, and I didn't figure that out. I mean, I was trying to get back on carnivore a couple months, like 6 weeks ago. I was still trying to go back on carnivore with the fat and everything else, thinking, oh my God, you know, it's all a fucking game, guys. It's all, they're fucking with you. They've been fucking you in your ass since the day you were born, and you guys are so used to being bent over, you don't even know what the sun looks like.
So this will be a continuation talking about the fasting. You know, this is just to talk about how physically our cells work, and that they're not nourished. You know, they're already self-sustaining, self-existent, internal. And well, you know, I'm planning on going in on talking about stem cells, talking about how to go about the process of fasting, you know, going about it safely, coming at it holistically with the mindset, the awareness, the knowing, and the confidence going into it, you know, because that is huge. You know, if your mindset's not there, if you're fasting and all you're thinking about is your next meal, if you're stressed the whole fast, if you're literally killing yourself if that's what you're gonna do.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. And why is that, Brandon? When you stress, what's happening? When you have anxiety, what is happening to your body?
It acidifies your body. It makes your body so acidic. You know.
Yep. And you want the alkaline state. Your body wants that alkaline state because that's when your organs are functioning properly and everything else. Yeah. And I guess that acidic state is what causes disease over time and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, all that stress, it just creates disease, inflammation, you know, even more blockages in the body. So yeah.
And it all makes sense, guys. You don't have to be you don't have to be a science teacher to understand this shit. He just said stress causes dis-ease. What is dis-ease? Very simple. Not at ease. Come on, guys. Figure it out. Anything else, Brandon?
No, I think that's good for now.
All right, man. That's a hell of a job.
Like I said, we'll be doing continuation from here, and any questions that pop up on this first video, you know, we can definitely work from there.
Cool. Sweet.